The IBF, the southpaw, Richardson Hitchens, 140-pound title on the line. Liam Paro in the Puerto Rican flag adorned trunks. In his favor, I don't think they've gotten over Paro upsetting Subriel. And seemingly the crowd, at least somewhat, Matias here, guys.
No, I think Paro got a little bit more love than Hitchens. Interesting fight because Paro coming out a lot more aggressive than usual. Even though he's wearing the flag on his trunks, there's going to be hands up, though, doing it responsibly, cutting off that ring. Make it a small ring and put a lot of pressure on him. And that's what he's going to have to do with Hitchens for as long as this fight goes.
Going back to what Hitchens was talking about. Interesting to see early if Hitchens is letting that out that was plaguing him in the Lemos fight. Right hand go, but in particular, can he throw it straight down the middle? Because that's
having issues with in the Lemos fight, throwing that fight, not only because of the injury, but
when he said, Sergio, that it was hurting him the most.
Well, look, he was because of Lemos, how he was bending his head height, his shoulder height to his advantage. Both these fought forward. He was fighting real small. So he was using his headers they're pretty similar in height, or an inch and a half. I think only half an inch separates them.
You know, when Hitchens is at his best, there's and down the middle. If you watch back his fights against John Bauza, not a lot of frills to him. He's jab, straight right against Jose Zepeda. That is where he's most effective. So he's got to get that.
No. Hold on.
Yeah, it's always
that jab going early, and he's got to make that the most effective punch in the fight.
It's tough to get past a tall, long, smart jab rounds to get past it. But as long as you're putting pressure, and it takes a few rounds, it takes 3, 4, maybe even 5, and having certain moments of success, then they're too early, too aggressive, and get popped with that jab.
Interesting.
It's okay to be giving up those early rounds because you don't want to get reckless.
Moment there a moment ago, already a verbal warning from the official about with this fight is that it could get really messy really early. And one thing that I know a lot of observers were worried perhaps that can help put a stop to that possibility as Paro.
For weeks now that he believes Liam Paro's a dirty fighter.
This lands a nice straight left hand.
Well, Richardson Hitchens has been saying back to the history Paro has of hitting guys behind the head. Exactly that. So they've kind of planted the seed with the referee early. He had a point deducted in that fight against Subriel Matias for doing that there could be some shenanigans from Liam Paro in this fight. They're saying all week long.
Paro has great timing, and Paro is not a dirty fighter.
I agree. I agree. It's just that
he takes advantage of the things that he should be taking advantage of. That doesn't make him. And this is a good round. That doesn't make him dirty. Makes him slide. For Paro, aggressive, cut off the ring. I think had a good round.
Paro showing some hands.
But Paro has a faster feet, and he implemented that foot speed in
that opening round too. There weren't too many eye-catching shots, but I'm Liam Paro. That's what stands out in my mind. See how I remember about 3 or 4 straight left hands down the middle from judges have that one.
One thing I've noticed about Paro, excellent game plan. That fight he had against Montana Love, especially the recent fights we've called have been in the U.S. He comes into fights with, he noticed early on that Montana Love was dipping down to his left. He did the pressure he was putting on, sticking that jab lightly into his throwing those chopping shots that got to Montana Love. Against Subriel Matias' face, grabbing onto him, that was game plan, that was strategy. So
clean right hand by Hitchens right now, perfectly timed, right down the pipe.
He's coming into this fight with Hitchens, I'm sure, with a sound game plan.
A little bit more snap on the jab of Hitchens in this round as well.
Get that jab over a southpaw. You know, there's always a foot battle and a jab.
Well,
Hitchens is not jabbing much because it's hard in that battle. Hitchens is not really throwing that many jabs right now, and I think that he doesn't want to commit to that jab just yet because he knows that that's by strategy. Is looking to counter that jab.
Yeah, I think oftentimes the southpaw, as you just mentioned, nice right hand there from Hitchens. Sergio, when you see fighters like Hitchens in this kind of scenario against, they'll use the jab almost as a counter. Like they're waiting for a movement, then they'll come back. Nice right hand from Hitchens.
Beautiful right hands, man. And it's without
with the jab, because you're right, it is hard to lead with it, but that's another.
The jab, their lead right hands is perfectly timed by Hitchens. Jab of Hitchens. So he's nullified the jab, but now it's the right. Paro did the right thing and double jabbed his way in over a long hand that Paro needs to worry about.
There from Hitchens was a mural. Right hand just middle of himself painted. in his neighborhood. He can leave the island here tonight with a world title. In Brooklyn, imagine there would be even more honors if
Paro dared Hitchens to stand and fight, and Hitchens is being a little bit flat-footed. He just missed a big right hand like there again, Hitchens. He's in front of Paro. He's walking him in.
Standing should enjoy. And here we are, back again. Little big fight is not a strategy that Richardson Hitchens. A bit of
anytime. No punches behind the head. I tell you.
closing moment.
Again, talking about the punching behind the head.
Right.
Both guys getting warned about that.
Here of round two. See a little bit of an abrasion on the.
The orthodox fighter just go right down the pipe with a single jab.
Round three now underway. The IBF.
And it was money.
140-pound title on the line. Richardson Hitchens looking to fulfill his promise. Olympian, now looking to become a world champ. 19th professional fight. Olympian.
Good jab there from Hitchens. Caught Paro coming in.
Watch your feet, guys.
Nice left hand. Right down the middle from Paro.
Really slyly with his feet, so you don't even know he's doing. Paro has good timing. I mean, he knows how to close the distance doing it, but he's inching his way closer and closer with his right foot, and they don't expect that from a shorter fighter, but that's what timing does. Timing being he puts himself in a position to land lead hands like that. And of course, it beats power.
Okay, break. Come on. Back.
More upright than he would normally be, and kind of using that lead hand. See the height of Hitchens, Sergio, forcing Paro to be a little bit more and kind of as his defense as he's trying to poke it.
But I'm watching Richardson Hitchens here, and it's giving me flashback of Vernon
through the guard of
and
Hitchens as well.
I tell you what, Corey, now that you mentioned that force, man, it has the same exact frame, the same exact. Looking to set up that right hand always, but he's always pawing with that long jab. Stance, a little white stance, long jab, and really, it's always sharp, it's always strong, it's always perfect like that.
To school on the Gustavo Lemos fight. So,
even the wide shoulders, everything.
you know, Paro said he went all the way. The pressure affected Richardson Hitchens. So far, we haven't seen
because the jab finally came into play. This round, the jab
too much of that type of pressure from Liam Paro.
That's Hitchens has come into play, and it's keeping Paro.
Hitchens not being able to throw against Lemos is the one that he
at bay.
Well, not only that, but the right hand that we talked about, him bouncing off the face of Liam Paro when he tries to get to the inside.
Yep, trying to get Hitchens to punch and commit to something. A lot of upper body movement. Right now, it'll serve Paro right just to do a lot of foot feints. But right now, Hitchens is really sharp with that jab. And that's the
left hand over the top.
Reason that Paro's having a difficult time holding that distance.
There from Paro. And good. I don't think Hitchens was hurt by that. Certainly looks good. Right hook there from Paro. Maybe a little bit of a footwork issue. I put on camera. Nice little sequence here for Liam Paro.
Man, there's always a confident look in his eye. It always looks like he has. Paro's such a smart and determined fighter. Something up his sleeve, and little by little, he's just so sneaky with his foot by something that you didn't expect.
Constant adjustment.
You know, he sneaks it in closer and closer and closer. Next thing you know, you're getting hit.
On both sides as Paro tries to come over the top with another left hand. A busy week of boxing coming up on Rocha and Raul Curiel. Guys, you guys are on the zone, and a good one on Saturday night between Alexis. Going to be calling that one alongside Todd Grisham. What are you expecting?
It's war, baby. Rocha is becoming one of the most
next Saturday.
Guerra. You know, guerra means fighting fighters up there. So so's Curiel. You feel very... You look very comfortable. Between these guys, a lefty and a righty. And there's the foot entanglement we always see. Both have their moments, man. I'm telling you, Paro started off good, but Hitchens started off good, but Paro actually had the moments as well.
We begin round 4. And already in the early going here, Sergio, I think we're seeing what you were talking, willingness to, and his ability to constantly make adjustments about with Liam Paro during our opening stand-up, just his movements. If something's not working, he'll try something else pretty quickly.
It's like watching a sly veteran. That's the beauty of this kid, man. Watching Liam Paro is like watching on the move, but he does it with youth and vigor and footwork. It's difficult to figure out. And watching, like, he's always thinking of what his next move is, and that's what makes him
Paro here these first 3+ rounds. You can see pressure we saw against Lemos, but it is the kind of pressure. It is shades of the game plan. But it's not the kind of pressure. He's trying to stay in front of Hitchens and keep him working. And I think who has had issues with this IBF 10-pound. I think that's by design. I think they want to test the stamina of Hitch hydration clause in the past. So I think that Paro's team wants to get him
always punching over the jab of Hitchens. That's really smart.
Tired, take him into deep waters.
And you know what I'm noticing right now is that Paro's game plan. So anytime Hitchens unleashes that long jab, that's really smart game plan. I used to love doing that with taller fighters myself. Paro comes back over the top and does it, he doubles it up. He can start throwing a straight left hand down to the chest or the belly. That can open up the right hook, which I think is going to be the money point for Paro.
Jab in the body for Paro. Hitchens getting that jab active, falling a little bit short. Nice left hand again there for Paro, showing some excellent time. Timing here in the early going. These are two high title, and a nice right hand comes down the middle from Richardson Hitchens.
Yeah, man.
The IQ fighters battling it out for a world.
This is power boxing. I mean, both these guys they respect each other's jab, but they're both looking for big punches. High fight IQ to come in, you know. Nice pivot there by Hitchens to get away from the corner, because anything against the ropes, and Hitchens puts himself there. Liam Paro would love to just get anything back.
The elbow of Hitchens connecting there on the follow. The illegal blow with that right hand again, right down the through. As Paro indicated to the official, but now Hitchens the pipe. Here the corner of Hitchens asking him, why are you waiting?
Yeah, that's 2 rounds in a row. He is accurate with some of these shots, but he's out now that the corner has kind of pleaded with Hitch to throw more push. It's just not enough.
Paro does. He shuts guys down and causes them not to want to punch. And that's exactly what...
The rounds are going fast, man. Yeah, look, he's looking to more busier. The rounds are going fast. He's looking to more busier. Rounds are going fast. He's looking to more busier. You got to step it up. This fight. Step to his ass, man. Don't keep letting him push you back. You got to take charge of it. Give me. Just step to him. You got to start pushing him back. He might be step to him, man. You have to. What happened, bro? You have her up on you. You don't know. Okay, step to him, man. You're better. You need that power. And you're greater. Start pushing him back. You got to push him back and throw the right fucking hand. Move the. Same way you go out.
Richardson Hitchens seemingly what he thought was going on. I thought that was great advice from the corner of Richardson, looking at the Edgar Berlanga sitting ringside. Hitchens, I don't think he's down 4-zip, but he is down in this fight to dictate the pace of this fight. All due to the inactivity. He is allowing Liam Paro.
Always interesting in the corner of...
Yeah, I've got it 3 rounds to 1 in favor of Liam Paro. I gave
Richardson Hitchens. More on that in just a second. Chris, how do you have the score so far?
Hitchens that second round, but the last 2 have been won by setting in this fight.
You can see Hitchens now getting more aggressive.
Paro, they've been won by activity, and they've been won by the pace that he...
With that right hand.
A lot more active with that backhand. Hitchens, no hesitation in letting that right hand go now.
Nice shot there by Hitchens.
It's coming often.
I love the fact that he's listening to his coach in his corner, because he needs to get more aggressive. And he's doing just that, unleashing that long right hand.
Off. And the advice in the Hitchens corner, I think Shakur Stevenson was on FaceTime in the corner. Come from a lot of different places. Guys, remember during the Zepeda fight.
There's no I think of that. Shakur Stevenson
Good shots of Paro right there coming over the top of the jab.
was on the phone communicating with Richardson Hitchens.
And getting control of that long jab.
Berlanga, you see him in the bottom left of your screen.
Of Hitchens.
There's that needed ringside, shouting instructions to his longtime man, trying to adjust, trying again, as you pointed out, Sergio, trying to get the friend, Richardson Hitchens. You see Paro get that lead hand over top of Hitchens, trying to jab over the top.
Yeah, man. Whoever has that top jab on, southpaws and orthodox fighters, that they have a foot battle and have that jab back. That's who's going to have more success. It's more visually appealing as well. It's it right now. If Hitchens jabs, you're going to jab right over it. See, just like that, Corey. Exactly like that. Will Paro just...
See Paro, though, pawing at his nose, afraid of them that he was launching in the early going here of round, which might have been busted open by the right hand of Hitchens, or the five, and he just missed with a titanic one there.
Missed with a big... Hitchens was a lot straighter. Right hand Hitchens. Paro looking for that left hand, but...
Paro tasting his own blood here in the 5th round. Again, find the necessary adjustment. Back and sides of this fight.
Both men bleeding. Paro from the nose.
4th action. Constant adjustments on both.
Hitchens from the mouth.
Seconds here, round 5. That got the Hitchens fans in roast. Hitchens found a nice right hand to the body. 2 fired up.
Yeah. Huh? Yeah, 3-2, Buck. 3-2. Oh, boy, breathe. Yeah, breathe.
The former heavyweight fight against Ghana's Ebenezer Tete on December. A title challenger Dillian White is set to continue his comeback with 15th. And the bout will take place at the Europa Point Relevant in the competitive heavyweight division. You can catch that stadium in Gibraltar as White looks to remain right here on DAZN.
Straight back on it. He's range away from him. He's got nothing down top of his chest. He's gonna get some confidence out of that, okay? Wait, all right, Lane. Keep breathing for me, mate, yeah? You gotta give him some motherfucking movement. Move your height. Change your height sometimes. Yeah. Why would you bring the whole bucket up here? Scooter.
Round 6 begins on the heels of best round of the fight thus far for Richardson Hitchens, as Hitchens obeyed orders to pick up the pace there in round hand. 5 really started to get busy with that right hand.
He's coming in with the straight left punches now. Left-handed by Paro. Now
you heard the Paro corner telling him he's going to have pound. And perhaps Paro capitalizing confidence coming out of that coming out of the 5th round on that, walking Hitchens into a nice left hand, but Hitchens again finding the reply.
Combinations, it's just 2 punches each and stepping back. Both these fighters are avoiding. They have that much respect for each other's counters. Instead of going forward and starting a combination, he knew. See, notice right there, Paro back something sharp was going to come back from Hitchens.
Right, and that's the exact blueprint. He would have just gone all out, full kind of moment where if Paro were indeed following the most forward pressure there, but he has more respect for Hitchens. Sure.
Because that's exactly what made him a champion, is following that.
Then to be able to do that right now.
Not only respect for Hitchens, but respect for the game strategy to a T. So there's a lot of fight left. Paro's having a pretty good round here too. So you just keep doing what you train for. Both these guys are looking for the right shots. The Paro's closing the distance. Hitchens is controlling the aggression and the time for Hitchens. He's stopping the momentum and stopping.
Counter right hand there from Hitchens.
Yeah, that's been the best putt. Paro halfway. With that right hand, I think he can open up some combinations. If Hitchens can put a left hook.
So they're stepping to the outside, actually stepping to the inside so he could land that power jab. Points in a row there, Sergio. Hitchens not.
Yeah, and there's that left hook that I'm asking for. I think that left hook's gonna found a home for that right hand, but now he has to put something behind it. It's not gonna be a strategy change for Hitchens. Enough, Paro will figure him out. You got to keep changing and adapting if you're fighting a guy like Paro.
10 seconds here of round 6. And falls a little bit short. Nice stiff jab there from Paro trying to find the body of Hitchens there with the left hand. Hitchens, and that'll be the final word of the round.
There you go. You got to use it right now.
Round number 7.
For Liam Paro to get something going because Hitchens is starting to... It's going to be an important round. Starting to float nicely and landing those right hands.
It's kind of contrary to what's happening. That felt like two... It's interesting that the energy in the Hitchens good rounds in a row for Richardson Hitchens, but they're still kind of...
Whenever you're a careful defensive fighter, absolutely. I love the fact that they're
admonishing him in the corner, but maybe that's the kind of energy he needs.
Hey, you know what? When that Hitchens, that way he won't get comfortable or content. You got to remind your fighter to be offensive and that they're close rounds. They're complacent, boy. You know, whenever you're a defensive fighter...
I would also point out the Hitchens team isn't stupid. But they know in the best interest of Matchroom, right? Like they are both Matchroom fighters. Effectively, is for Liam Paro to win and fight George Kambosos in Australia. So they know they've got to be perfect to make sure they get a win tonight.
I haven't seen any right hooks from Paro. Straight punching, Hitchens going to get the better of him, not only because of the reach. I think that's what he needs to start doing because I think Hitchens a little bit sharper with the straight shot, especially that right hand.
How do you think he should set that up, sir? I mean, especially given...
With the hooks, I think Paro can find a home there.
Like the length of Hitchens.
That's a good question. So I think avoid coming in with the jab. The straight left hand, maybe to the chest, a straight left hands. Avoid the jab if you're Paro to the gut and then come around a looping shot. But it's gonna be
There's tape on the right glove.
Throw away 2 shots and let it hook. Pull it off.
Liam Paro, those gloves has been basically loose since round 1. Such a big story coming into this fight.
See, like right this, maybe throw a hard left hand, but intensive throw there. Paro with 2 jabs goes away that left hand just to come and sweep him out, sweep with the right hook.
Well, this jab battle has been fascinating to watch too. They trade jabs there, but by and large, it's been one guy throws, it gets. There it is again, slip. The next guy throws, it gets slipped. The third jab tends to land. And inside the final minute of round 7. Big far, but back comes Paro with a left hand. Hitchens, right hand there from Hitchens. Maybe the biggest shot of the fight thus far. Stands in the trenches, lands a good combination to the body.
Oh, the right hand. This is probably, Hitchens stood his ground and landed a nice uppercut, 2 body shots after that. The best round for Hitchens as far as like him doing Paro a little bit, falling short on his game plan. What he wants to do and kind of having frustration.
Final 10 seconds of round 7. Hitchens finds one more right hand, riding by with an interested observer.
Yeah, thank you, Corey. I'm here.
See if ringside, keep landing those right hands. Hitchens can follow the advice of his friend. Saw the action pick up towards the end of round 7. And even though, Sergio, I think that
16 and 112 for your winner by split decision.